Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am diving into the world of Tokyo Ghoul with a new character sketch. As you can see, I have already started sketching out the face structure. It's all about finding that perfect balance. We have sped up the process and I'm trying to figure out where the eyes, nose and facial features would go. Deciding where to place the eyes, nose and mouth is always a challenge. So for this particular drawing, I am doing 2 sketches to get it just right. And now we're sketching the hair. This is the first sketch, so I am doing it a bit more rough because I know I'm going to make another sketch. So I was like, okay, I will get the strands in their places in the second one. So I just made a rough sketch of the overall. Yeah, I thought his face became a little more thinner than I wanted to be, so I made it a little more wider in the second sketch. This is the second sketch and I'm doing it in different colors so that it's easier for me to recognize and know which line is in which sketch. It's easier this way. This time around we are not drawing those straight lines because we already know where we are placing what. And here I'm drawing the eyes. I wasn't really sure about the location of the eyes because I felt like they were a bit too higher, like close to the forehead than I wanted them to be. So I moved the whole hair and eyes and everything a bit downwards. Later on, yeah, here I've started the line art. In the line art, when I draw the eyes, I will make them a bit more lower than where they are in the sketch. While drawing the hair, I just went for the strokes. Even though they were intersecting each other, I was just trying to get those smooth strokes, And because later on, the part where it's intersecting, I would like rub it off. Like right now, I'm rubbing all the tiny cross sections. I went with a thinner line art this time. That is because for this drawing, I'm going for a softer look with less visible line art. And I wanted more blended shading, I just wanted to try it and see how it turns out. Unlike my old work, in which I keep the line art more thicker and making it more pop out from its background, and the shades I do are not very blended as well. They are like crisp shading kind of. But for this time around, we are going to blend them more than I usually do. Okay, we have started coloring. I chose this shade for his face because this is a lighter skin tone. I chose this because I had to do a lot more darker shadings for his face as well, and then I had to choose a color for the line art, for his eyes, for his eyelashes, mouth and everything. So I thought it would be easier if I chose a lighter skin tone to begin with. Later on it will be easier for me and I'll have more options, more shades to choose from for the other stuff. We are done with the base color for the face, and I gave his dress color was black, but I went with a darker gray to begin, again for the same reason, because I wanted to do shading in a lot more shades of black. I wanted to have more darker and darker shades of black so that I could use them while shading. And now we're doing the base color for the hair. Again, I'm going for a lighter gray. His hair color is light grayish white, but I went for a light gray because later on when I will do dark gray shadings, his this gray color will appear like it's, white, but it will give some contrast from the background, because I'm going to leave the background white this time. I'm not touching the background. We have started shading the face now. For his face shades, I was taking the shades in the reference a bit more. I wanted to make things as precise as I could. I did the shade a little lighter first, and then I decided that no, we are going to blend the shades later on, so we don't know whether they will show up on his light skin tone. So let's go with something darker. This was hard, to be honest, to shade it and then redo it, because I did not rub the old shade. I just did on that. So yeah. And now we're shading the dress. I'm giving these rough edges because this dress is, it's a rough dress. It's not a smooth dress, so we are going with a rough style. So here, see, I chose the dark gray color to begin with, so now I have darker and then darker black to use. I could give 3 different shades to his dress, and there I blended the shades, and this was what I was going for. And I blended the shades on the face as well. They're not like visible lines, but more blurred and blended with the skin tone. Now we're drawing the shades for the hair. Now here I imagined, or I suppose, that the light was coming from from top of the head, from upside down. It's not from a side. So we made the lower roots of his hair darker, and the top of his head would be brighter, because that's where the light is hitting his head, like this. Now when you look at it, you will see that the lighter gray color that I used, it appears more whitish because of the dark gray color that I used for shading. And here we're blending in the shades. Again, some shading for the eyes as well. Even after completing this drawing, I always feel like this, that the drawing needed some more work, maybe could have been much better, but it's never perfect, or at least you never find it perfect. But I feel like, okay, I'm drawing this like this now, but maybe when I will try to redraw it some other day, then I will do a much better job. Maybe I'll get better at it. That is the goal here. I'll be using subtle colors for the line art to keep things understated yet stylish, unlike my previous work, where the line art was more thicker, darker, and visible. We are going for a line art in this drawing, which is less visible, has more subtle colors. Like for his hair, you can see that I did not use a real dark gray. I went with a darker but a subtle shade of gray, so that it won't be too visible. Same goes for his face, but I did change the line art color for his face. I thought, no, maybe let's go a little bit more lighter. But then I realized that, oh, his neck and his chin are not distinguishable anymore. So later on I did shade the neck into a little more darker color so that they can be differentiated. And yeah, here I'm trying to blend the line art. and add some more shading to hoping it will give it. Yeah, there I'm coloring it a bit more dark, coloring the nostril, and I thought maybe blending the line art will give it a bit more better look at will give the shade a bit more better look in his hair, but it did not really work because his hair strands were tiny and they were like close to each other. So I thought that if I will try to blend the line art, it will just get more messier and the colors will not be as distinguishable and it won't look good. So I did not do that. I abandoned the idea. And at this point I finally remembered that I had to draw some rough scratches on his face to give that rough texture. To be honest, I did not really work that hard on these scratches. I just did, tiny strokes of brush, which now I think that I should have worked a bit more on it. And yeah, this is the final look. This is how it turned out. As always, I feel like it could get much better. It could have been much better. I could draw much better. But with time, let's hope. That's all.